Good day everyone, my name is Kathleen Joyce o Aranas, your virtual speaker. Today, we will tackle about parental rights. Parental rights in a legal sense are the parents' right to make decisions for their child, including decisions surrounding education, religion, and medical care. Parental rights also include the right to pass property to a child through inheritance and the right to hold physical custody of a child. Essentially, this right grants parents the legal power to guide and care for their child's overall well-being and development. Parents may be liable for the negligent or criminal acts of their children. This liability begins when children are 8 to 10 and ends at the age of majority. A third party can sue parents if their child causes injuries or property damage to them. For example, when a child is at the age of 8 years old and bullied his or her peers that resulted to a serious physical and emotional damage, the parent is liable for their child's actions. The age of majority is the age at which a person is an adult in the eyes of the law. At the age of majority, a person is no longer subject to parental control. The age of majority is 18 is the most of United States. Upon reaching the age of majority, children are no longer the legal responsibility of their parents. When a child reaches the age of majority, they can legally make decisions for themselves. Their parents are no longer responsible for their negligent acts. Here are some examples of how reaching the age of majority affects parental rights and liability. Number 1. Financial obligation. Parents have financial responsibility for the action of their minor child before they reach the age of majority. After a minor child reaches the age of majority, they are responsible for their own debts and financial obligations. Example of financial obligation. Financial obligation related to parental rights typically include child support payments, which are legally mandated financial contribution from one parent to another for the financial care for their child. Number 2. Medical decisions. Before reaching the age of majority, children cannot make medical decisions for themselves. After reaching the age of majority, people 18 years of age have the right to make their own medical decision without parental consent. Example of medical decisions. Medical decisions as part of parental rights involve choices such as consenting to medical treatments, surgeries, or deciding on vaccinations for the well-being of the child. Number 3. Education. Under parental liability law, parents are generally responsible for the educational delinquency of a minor. Under such a laws, after reaching the age of majority, individuals can choose whether to continue their education. Example of parents' right in education. Encompass decisions like choosing a child's school, participating in parent-teacher conferences, and having input into educational plans or special services for their child. Number 4. Contracts. A minor child cannot enter into a binding contract without parental consent. Once they reach the age of majority, anyone can enter into contracts without parental consent. As for contract, any minor cannot obtain contracts relating to any decision involving the necessity of contracts without their parental consent. However, once a child reaches the age of majority, they are free to do so. Parents have the natural right as well as the moral and legal duty to care for their children, see to their proper upbringing, and safeguard their best interests and welfare. This authority and responsibility may not be unduly denied the parents, neither may it be renounced by them. Parents inherently possess the right and responsibility to care for, raise, and protect their children, ensuring their well-being and best interests. This authority is essential, cannot be unjustly denied, and cannot be voluntarily relinquished by parents. For almost 100 years, the U.S. Supreme Court has recognized the traditional role of parents in directing the care, custody, and control of their minor children. In Wisconsin v. Yoder, the court declared the parental rights to have been established beyond debate as enduring American tradition. Despite this, many government actors and agencies today are working overtime to substitute a parent's decision with the government workers' own view of what is best for a given child. From school to hospital to child welfare investigator, experts think they know what's best for your child better than you do. And while this has been going on for decades, we have all become painfully aware of it since the recent pandemic, when many learned for the first time just how much power the government wants to have over our children. Children have the right to be safe, to be treated with affection, to be educated, to have a medical care, and to be protected against cruelty and abuse. Parents have the duty to protect their children's rights until they are old enough to make their own way in the world. The authority to make decisions concerning the affecting the care, welfare, and proper development of the child is known as parental responsibility. The law allows parents to bring up their child according to their own values and beliefs. Decisions such as religion, education, discipline, medical treatment, and where the child lives will not be interfered with unless there are good reason or the child's well-being is at risk. For example, if there is abuse, if the child is not receiving education or necessary medical treatments. Working parents have right to child care services and to access information on payment and services of which they are eligible. However, the concept of parents' right does not include the right to have custody or contact with your children. For example, after separation, in situations where parental responsibility may be altered, the law requires the best interest of the child to be the paramount consideration. Here's our references. And that's all, guys. Thank you for listening.